to HeadKick Audio, episode number 30, take 2. Take 2. In the intro, you heard By the Gods. They are at By the Gods on IG, at Metal By the Gods on Facebook. Your video here, how you are viewing us, Imbued Photography, at Imbued Photography on all your social media accounts. Today is episode 30.
Fuck yeah.
Yesterday was the our annual Halloween party, and we also did our annual pumpkin patch trip.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, we got some pumpkin patches. We got some pumpkins with the fam, and we also did a couple fighter interviews this week. We had Raufeon Stots, and that happens to be one of my favorite interviews of all time. He is a riot. It was a lot of fun. This guy couldn't stop fucking crying.
I was just so excited, man. I just couldn't help it.
And we also circled back with Diablo Sauce, Travis Foster, after his win over at Rough 36. And, you know, Halloween is this week, yeah?
Yeah, this Thursday.
You're peeping or listening to this on Monday, so this Thursday... It's Halloween, so happy Halloween. We got some cool little props here.
Ooh.
And we got our scary shirts.
I'm not even going to bother getting up. I'm too fat for this.
Okay, I've got the Browning, which isn't something you do in your toilet. It's something you listen to.
And I've got the Grim Reaper riding a motorcycle. Almost kind of like Ghost Rider, but Grim Reaper.
He's dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. Yeah. Alright, so let's get right into it, because we had CES, 2 Bellators, and a UFC.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
I didn't even think about that. That was great. That was great. So, and we're actually going to do something kind of cool and something kind of different with the Foster interview. We're going to punch in a little snippet from it, and then you got to peep the rest on our Patreon.
Definitely.
That's patreon.com/HeadKick Audio. We got a whole mess of shit on there. We're working on all kinds of content, and we're actually like doing stuff on the Patreon. So go peep our Patreon. Maybe sprinkle in some subscriptions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean every little bit helps. I mean, we would like to be able to go out and cover more events and get you guys some more behind-the-scene content that I'm actually currently working on, and once my computer stops being an asshole to me, that shit will be up there, and you guys will love it. It'll be worth the wait.
Okay. Well, I'm loving it right now, so let's just dive right in. CES had a card, 59. They had a mainstay with the organization, and Dennis Paiva taking on Tim Dooling in what was a fucking incredible fight. This was in Rhode Island over at the Twin River Casino. Your main card, we'll just, like I said, let's just dive right in. Marcos Lloreda. He defeated Armauti via unanimous decision. Darius Estelle defeated Montiero via unanimous decision. Jacob Bahn defeated Andres Judy via rear naked choke in round 2. Josh Ricci defeated Lugo via arm triangle choke in round 2. And here's where I came in. I can actually start talking about some of these fights now, because unfortunately, I don't know what was going on with the interwebs, but I had to stream the Bellator and stream the CES. So I could only get the Bellator to work, and the Fight Pass wasn't working for me. So I don't know if like the UFC Fight Pass and the DAZN or whatever it was were just like duking it out.
They were fighting over the bandwidth.
Yeah, they're fighting over the bandwidth. Apparently, fucking DAZN was taking it to the Fight Pass. So
DAZN TKO'd that Fight Pass, man.
Well, they rallied back. They rallied back. So Damon, is it Damon?
Damon
Blackshear defeated the dude Cordy Nordby. Nordby's coming back from a little layoff there, and didn't quite look himself, if I'm being honest. Gets the sub loss here from Black Shear. I did not mean to rhyme, but if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. I hope somebody laughed.
I was gonna try to think of something else funny to go with it, but
it's Halloween and we're going cheesy. Look at my props.
I'm still recovering.
Stare at my props. Love my props.
I'm still recovering from last night.
Yes. There are some things that went down, and you have to peep the IG to find out what they were.
Definitely.
I will not specify if nacho cheese was involved at all.
Nacho, let's just say a bald man, nacho cheese, and something about Oreos. If that intrigues you, go check out that IG.
Anyway, William Nightmare Knight defeated Jones via verbal submission due to strikes in round 1.
Oh my God, he was getting pummeled so much. He was like, "Stop!"
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
this Nightmare, he's a fucking scary little dude.
Whoa.
He's not very large this way, but he's very large this way. He's just like a little fucking tank. It's scary. And I'm not really sure, because I didn't hear anything, so I was unsure, why the fight was being stopped. But apparently it was a verbal submission due to strikes. So, and the guy, Jamel Jones, give the guy some credit. He took the fight on 24 hours notice.
oh shit.
Yes. Oh shit is right. To be going in there and fighting Nightmare? No way. Fuck. And in your main event for CES 59, you had Dennis Paiva taking on Tim Dooling in a bantamweight affair. I believe this was a bantamweight. Paiva walks away with your unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. Excuse me. Fun fucking fight. Definitely the best fight of the evening. Yeah, bantamweight. Cool. Right on. And it was a lot of fun. Dueling is very unorthodox, to say the least. He reminds me a little bit, with his striking, reminds me a little bit of Tim Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
So, if that is any indication on how goofy this guy is, it's pretty fucking goofy. But
well, I accidentally thought that his last name was Drooling, because I just caught it at a quick glance. So it's like, Tim Drooling? Like, what the fuck?
You need to stop reading at a glance.
Yeah.
Artichonies, drooling, get out of here. There's some inside jokes that you guys have no idea. So Dennis Paiva, I believe, was making some history with CES with the most fights within the promotion.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like I said, he's a mainstay at CES. His whole fucking career has been with CES, and it's been awesome to watch. So peep this dude out, because I need to stop saying peep.
Well, it is kind of sort of peep season, I guess.
Maybe peep season's like Easter. I know Peep just does all the holidays. They don't give a fuck.
That's right. I
ate some Frankensteins.
What?
You did the bats? I did the Frankensteins.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did the bats and the peanuts.
Ah, okay. No, because those are Frankensteins. Those are Frankensteins and peanuts.
Like I said, there was some stuff going on yesterday.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was eating.
Just a tray of Oreos. That's what you're eating. A tray of fucking Oreos. Note to self, whenever you're having a party, if you're doing Oreos, buy an extra box.
I had no idea that fucking happened. I feel so ashamed.
Oh,
but at the same time, I still don't give a fuck, because
there was
fucking Oreos.
The alcohol was flowing, so all is mostly forgiven. Alright, and then Bellator 231, so this was the first of 2 Bellator cards. This was a rematch from a UFC fight years ago. I don't know, maybe 2012. I want to say is when Mir Nelson 1 happened.
I'll fact check that.
Okay, so you fact check that. They did their extended prelim thing here. So, let me see if there's anything that...
Damn, we're going way back here. Alright, let's see.
The boy John Manley, which was my first interview of all time ever. John Manley. So this was 2016, I think. When HeadKick audio sucked a whole bunch of donkey balls. I mean, we're just barely a little bit better than that, but it was pretty bad. So it was...
well, it was also just starting off, too, and...
Well, this was pre...
Yeah.
Crazy J. This was pre 2017. This is... Yeah. Anyway, so John Manley, he got a win over Thiago Oliveira. Unanimous decision. A couple 29-28s and a 30-27. So definitely got to give John a shout. He's an awesome guy. And, like, super nice. Super nice.
Yeah, I listened to it when...
Back in the day?
When it started.
Yeah.
And, it was a really great interview. I believe that was one that...
Dude.
He was, like, super energetic about shit.
Let's put that up on the fucking Patreon. So if you want to check out the first interview from me ever, go peep the Patreon.
We'll do that.
Yeah, we'll get that shit up there.
And real quick, for the fact check on the Frank Mir and Big Country, it was 2011.
Oh, so I was a year off. Sorry, my memory isn't what it... Well, my memory was never good. It was never good. Anthony Garrett... he didn't defeat Swagger. It was declared a no contest due to an unintentional low blow. And your boy Swagger says, I didn't kick him. I didn't knee him in the nuts. He just wanted out.
No, I would say the first shot, I would say that was straight up belly, because I got a big belly, and you know, if I was getting beat the hell out of, I would try to, you know, get a little break just to kind of collect myself and then come back, you know, whatever. That second shot though, that was straight up knee to the everything. And to top it all off, I guess the third time is the fucking charm, because he kneed him again straight up.
That was straight down the middle.
Straight up the middle.
That was
got the twig and berries, got everything.
You got the Frank and the beans, the twig and giggle berries,
the golden wedding tackle.
Oh, Jesus. So you get a no contest there. Now Swagger is, what is he like? 2-0-1? 1-0-1, something like that.
But, I mean, I honestly wish that he would just make up his mind. Does he want to still do the whole wrestling thing, or does he really want to go 100% MMA? Because I think he should
You should ask Bellator. Ask Bellator if they want to do MMA or wrestling.
Well, that too, yeah.
Jesus.
Well, because I heard, not gonna be able to like 100% this, but like I've heard that they were in talks of trying to like have Cyborg go over the WWE for a little bit. I mean, of course you've got Cain Velasquez now going over to WWE doing his thing. But I mean, he's always wanted to be a wrestler or whatever. I guess that's what's been said in like all of his interviews. But it's like the fighters that you have now, like they need to make up their mind, or even the promotions as well. Like I get it, you know, trying to do the whole cross promotion thing. That's going to get viewers for both sides. You know, a lot of moolah is going to be involved. But I mean, imagine the fucking wear and tear mentally and physically trying to do real fighting versus kind of sort of scripted fighting or choreographed fighting.
I was gonna say, dude, it's very scripted. It's not kind of scripted.
Well, I'd say 90% of it is.
Yeah, I just don't care for it. Moving on, Yara Joan defeated Beck Rawlings. So Rowdy Beck returns to MMA after going undefeated in bare knuckle boxing and picking up a title.
That's where I recognize it.
Yeah, she got knee barred in the second round.
That was nasty.
And I think her record now sits at like 7-9 or 8-8, something like that. So it's not a very attractive record, but you know, she's still a bad chick. 7-8. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that may not even hold on. No, because I don't think that counts. This one right here. I don't think it counts that one. Anyway, moving on.
Either way, it's either 7-8 or 7-9.
Yeah, so no bueno there. I was really looking forward to seeing if she had worked on some of her ground game, but nope.
Yeah, apparently not when you get knee barred like that. Holy shit. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a more, I guess, clean knee bar submission.
I've seen cleaner, but I've also seen like a bajillion more fights than you.
Yeah.
Ed Ruth takes a split decision win from the real winner, Jason Jackson.
Yeah,
That's how you explain that fight.
that gets a big boo from me.
Yeah, I didn't think that Ed Ruth did enough to get the nod, but it doesn't matter what I think because I'm not an MMA judge. Anyway.
I think someone started hitting the sauce a little bit too early that night.
Yeah, they hit all the sauces. Phil Davis defeated Carl Albrechtston. Albrechtston. That guy. The dude looked like a really stretched out Stifler.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he looked like to me. So from then on, it was Davis versus Stifler. And Davis gets the win here at 3:06 in the third round via TKO. He got it done with the strikes. Nothing too devastating there, just Phil Davis being Phil Davis, doing what Phil Davis does.
Yeah, took him a minute to finally get his rhythm, but once he got his rhythm, dude, there's no stopping him.
I'm not sure that Phil Davis has a rhythm, and I'm not trying to talk shit, but the dude striking, he's not a world-class striker. He's not a world beater when it comes to the hands and the feet.
Yeah.
And the elbows and the knees. But obviously it was enough here to get the win. So the former champ is probably looking for a big fight in his next outing. I'm not sure how this matchup came about, but Bellator just needs to throw bodies at their names, so this sort of thing will happen. And in your main event, Frank Mir defeats Roy Nelson again via unanimous decision again. Only this time there was I couldn't even say this time because I have no idea how the first one went. Never watched it because if I'm being quite honest, I didn't care back then, and I didn't care now. But I watched it anyway, and I thought Mir's game plan of the leg kicks was pretty solid. Kicking the shit out of Roy Nelson's leg. Because if you take out that lead leg, there's not a whole lot of steam behind his, overhand right, which is what's netted him a lot of his knockout victories. However, there was a sweet takedown at the end of the third round, but it was not enough for Big Country to get the win here. So Frank Mir walks away with a decision victory.
I think Nelson could
have done a lot more.
He could have done that in the second round. I mean, there's a lot of times that you could tell when Mir was going to throw that kick, and if he would have timed it just right, he could have just sidestepped a little bit and then caught that leg and either went for a single to a double or just straight up just take him down with the single.
Yeah, the issue with taking Frank Mir down is 9 times out of 10 he's going to break something of yours. So when you're breaking Nogueira bones, you're pretty good.
Of course, you got to be fucking careful. Jeez.
All right, moving on to the second Bellator card. You had Bellator 232, and they again did that thing where they had a bajillion prelims. But the things to peep here that are really important, because apparently this episode has been brought to you by Peeps. I should just bring all my peeps in here. We should just eat peeps during the whole episode. All right, so the main spiel from the prelims, I'm going to say is, let's see, you had... the
one that sticks out for me, at least, Devin Powell.
Yeah. So, Devin Powell, which was episode number... He's going to figure that out. But Devin Powell fought in his Bellator debut. I'm not really 100% sure how he went from UFC to Bellator.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But I'm sure we will have him on the show to figure it out. But he got the guillotine choke at the very, very end of round 2. Because as soon as he let go, the guy wakes up and is trying to take down the referee. Luckily for us, McDonald had said, I'm not your opponent, so I'm going to go ahead and wave this thing off. Because the dude was asleep. If you see his leg starts doing the fucking thing where it looks like he's playing a bass drum, that's an early indicator for me that he's out. There's not been a oxygen going to his brain. So,
episode number 7. So, like,
Sounds
way back in the beginning.
Yeah, that was only like, 23 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just wait till we get to like episode 500. I would be like, yeah, back in episode 30,
Yeah.
we were doing a Halloween special, and Steve forgot to take off his hat. Don't worry, I'll tag these guys in the whole dang thing. It's bleeding through, by the way, if you didn't know.
It's a good band.
Yeah, they are. I like them a lot. I saw them live this summer. They were awesome. 20 years they've been playing. 20 fucking years.
Shit.
Since I was this many. So Devin Powell getting a win there in emphatic fashion. Bellator debut, coming off multiple injuries, spinal injections, the whole fucking nine. And Powell gets it done here. So pretty fucking cool to see that. And then we'll just go ahead and move on to the main card. Baby Ferguson getting it done over Campbell in 38 seconds. A lot of controversy over this win here, Bubba. A lot of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
So many people were saying a lot of these shots were at the back of the head. I mean, I've even heard the number 8 quoted, which is probably why I have the 8 number stuck in my head. But either way, the win goes to Ferguson. I don't know if there'll be any requests to the commissions to have this one overturned, because I did see some of those hitting the back of the head, but it's kind of one of those things where they're in the heat of the moment. I guarantee you Baby Slice isn't thinking, I'm going to punch this dude in the back of the head so I can win faster. No, he's just throwing blows. He's not really, he's throwing them in the vicinity of a dude's head, and some of them hit the back. These things do happen in MMA. I'm sure there was nothing malicious about it, but there it is. Manny Muro defeats Nick Newell, the amputee guy. So he's the guy with the one arm.
Oh, yeah.
Manny beat Newell via split decision. I don't know where you get the split. These judges are on crack.
Yeah.
Because Manny Muro obviously won the second 2 rounds.
Oh, definitely.
You can make a case that the second round was really close, but I still had it 2 rounds to 1 for Manny.
Yeah. Well, was it the? Let's see. I remember you talking about this Newell guy. This is the first time I saw him fight. So this is only his second loss.
Third.
Or third now.
Yeah, you gotta remember, it doesn't count the last one on this side.
Yeah. So, I wonder if he just had that mindset of look, this guy knows what he's getting himself into. The guy, you can't take him lightly. He has 15 wins. And so to just go in there and try to take someone like that lightly, I guess that's how, the judges saw the split decision, but still,
yeah.
He went in there and dude, he was just, I'm at a loss for words. He just went out there and said, I give no fucks. You know what you got yourself into, and let's fight.
I think what it is a lot of people don't know how to fight a guy like Nick Newell, because it's, it probably looks a whole lot different than everybody else you've ever fought. Because, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's psychologically difficult for the opposition to get over, and by the time they realize, hey, it's just a guy that only has half an arm, they're usually tapping out because Newell's got their neck. I'm not 100% sure that is the main deal, but that's just what I see. Is a lot of guys are. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like how Anderson Silva would beat people before they even stepped into the cage with him, because of his mystique, his aura, his his fucking glow, right?
Yeah.
And once you just don't see that, if you fucking put on some sunglasses and he's not as shiny, mm-hmm. then he's a lot easier to beat. You don't treat him like he's this unstoppable, or I'm not saying that Nick Newell was unstoppable, but it's just, once you get in the cage with the guy, it's kind of difficult to, get past that.
Yeah.
So, and very few people have, obviously only 3. Your boy Justin Gaethje being one of them. Yeah, highlight.
Nice.
So yeah. Anyways, Patrick Mix, a guy had a new opponent, Isaiah Chapman. This was on short notice for Chapman. He gets knee barred, but I'm pretty sure that was a banana split. Was that the banana split?
I think so.
I think that was a split. So It's a knee submission. I mean, you're pulling this leg, you know, all the way up here. it's tearing the groin, it's tearing the fucking knee, it's tearing the calf. I mean, it's tearing all that shit. So
if you don't tap, something's getting broke.
Yeah, so they call it the banana split. They split your banana. All right, so Mix stays undefeated, improves to, I believe, 12-0. His last win over Ricky Bandejas and now Chapman. I think it's time for a step up in competition. I'm thinking maybe it's time to put Patrick Mix versus Raufeon Stots together.
Ooh, that'd be a good matchup.
Yeah, Mix is, according to a certain interview, Mix was offered Stots, but wanted Stots on a full training camp. So, yeah.
I don't know if that's a smart move.
No, it's a very smart move. Stots is a bad matchup for a lot of people. So Mix gets it done, stays undefeated, looks good doing it. Really like hyped on this Bellator prospect, especially at bantamweight. I think bantamweight needs contenders like your Mixes, your Stots, and your Bandejas. If I'm saying that right. Because bantamweight was like at one point in time like one of their like better divisions. You know what I mean? So they've produced a lot of fun champions like your Joe Warrens of the world. So I wonder what that guy's doing. The baddest man on the planet. So hold on, let me get a swig of this shit right here.
Go
ahead and go on the co-main event.
Co-main? Alright. Co-main, you have Paul Daley defeating Syed Awad. I can't believe I just butchered that, but I don't care because...
okay, well...
I mean, I kind of care, but...
Here's a fun story, okay? So back when Bellator was all about the tournaments, they had the 155-pound tournament, and Syed Awad made his... I don't know if he made his Bellator debut, but he made his tournament debut. And the history may not be 100% accurate here because that was a while ago and doesn't work like it used to or ever worked to begin with. But he fought in his first tournament, and when I read it and when my wife read it, we thought it was Sad Wad. So now every time Syed fights, I tell my wife, "Hey, Sad Wad's fighting," and she goes, "Oh, cool, let's go watch it." She knows who Sad Wad is, but if I said, "Oh, Syed Awad is fighting," she would have no fucking idea.
Maybe that stuck with me too.
Yeah.
So I do apologize for pronouncing the name wrong, but that's just how I...
No, it's okay. So Sad Wad gets defeated by Paul Daley in a 175-pound catchweight via knockout, round 2.
Yeah, those are some vicious blows, dude.
Yeah, well, Paul Daley don't fuck around.
No, he does not.
So, Paul Daley is like one of these guys. You know what I mean? He hits a real good high, and then he hits a real big low, and then is Paul Daley still a MMA fighter? You won't know until you know. You won't fucking know until you know. So, I'm not really 100% sure what's next for Paul Daley, but I'm thinking something at home probably. Well deserved, in my opinion. And then you had the cap of the welterweight Grand Prix. It was your champion Rory McDonald defending his welterweight title and fighting for the welterweight Grand Prix title and fighting for the $1 million via 50 Cent. Go, Phenom. Yeah, because he won. Yeah. Don't ever do that again. Anyway.
Well, I was trying to like work into like going around, but...
Okay. Yeah, so Douglas Lima defeats Rory McDonald via unanimous decision. Happy Halloween, buddy.
Happy Halloween.
They're plastic. They're adorable. And for those of you listening, you can't even see what's going on, so I would try to explain it, but it would take a minute. it wasn't like, it was a very anticlimactic like end to the welterweight Grand Prix because I enjoyed, I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the fight. It was an okay fight, but like, it just kind of, I was expecting more fireworks, I guess.
I was expecting at least a knockout or a submission. I think I was looking more...
Both these guys are way too good for that, though. And Rory doesn't have knockout power, and Rory is too tough for Lima to finish that way. So if there was a finish, it would be a submission, and both these guys are so good on the ground, I can't see that either. So this is the second time they fought. This is the second time they've gone to the decision, and they're one apiece. Rory says, you know, this was the last fight on my contract, so we got to sort that out. But I see a trilogy.
Ooh.
So there you go. Bellator.
Sign me up. I'll watch that again.
Bellator can market the fuck out of that. But I think Lorenz Larkin's up first.
Yeah.
According to Cokes. So, moving on, you have UFC Singapore, Maia versus Askren. All right.
This was a really good card.
It was okay. It was okay. There was some good fights, and there were some snoozers in there. And then there was some upsets, and there was some The card had a little bit of everything. I think what it lacked was a knockout.
Definitely.
There was no knockout on the card.
Although there were a lot of fights that could have.
Yeah, there was one TKO on the card, and it was Sergey Pavlovich defeating Maurice, the Crochet Boss, Green. Disappointing, because I like Green. But we'll go ahead and just go 2 fights down. Rafael Pessoa defeats Jeff Hughes, 30-27s all across the board. I really like to see this Pessoa work on his cardio so that later in the fight he can look like he did in round 1. I know it's very difficult for a heavyweight to keep that kind of pace, but both these guys, for a heavyweight fight, like their cardio is not that bad. It was a fun fight, but I'd like to see this Pessoa work on that cardio, because if he can like just up his output in rounds 2 and 3 to kind of match the first round, man, he's a problem for this division. He's a problem for this division. So stoked to see what happens with this, but Jeff Hughes kind of, I think this is not 2 in a row, because he lost to Green, and then he had the no contest with Duffy, and then lost to Pessoa, right? Yep. So he's 0-2-1 in the UFC, but he's in the heavyweight division. So heavyweight division needs their bodies.
Definitely.
Loma Look Boon Me. Or is it Lugumi?
I forgot what. I think they said Luke Boomy.
Luke Boomy? Okay.
Luke Boomy.
She defeats Alexandra Albu via split decision. This was a head scratcher. This was a fucking head scratcher. Because Loma, she won this fight. The fuck?
Yeah, hands down, she won the fight.
I was taking a piss while they were reading the decision, and I'm like, did they give it to the white girl? Like, what the fuck? So it turns out the right girl won, but that should not have been anywhere near a split decision.
No, definitely not.
30-27s across the board for Loma is what I was expecting. So how do you get your soul like a Juno? Mine looks like it's all fucking Nashville.
What do you mean?
Like how yours is all nice and crisp and clean and dark, and mine looks like it's fucking sun bleached.
Oh. Well.
Anyways, we'll fuck with my settings later.
It's also a newer computer too.
Yeah, my shit sucks. It's okay.
Although, let's see. I've had this one for almost like 2 years now.
Sergey Pavlovich defeats Maurice Green via knockout in round 1. I didn't agree with the stoppage. Had they stopped it like 5 seconds sooner, okay. 5 seconds later, okay. But right when they stopped it, I just don't
think
agree
it
with
was still. I think it was still too. I guess into it.
Well, no, okay. See, like I said, he was getting smashed, right?
Yeah.
And then he falls over and the legs are up in the air, but he's coherent. He's back in the fight because he's getting smashed. He gets woken up, and then the fight gets stopped. And you can see him looking up at the ref, like, hey, why the fuck you stopping it? Like, I'm not out. You know what I mean? So, like I said, 5 seconds before, 5 seconds after, probably okay. But right when they did, at 2 minutes and 11 seconds, nah. So
no, yeah.
So like what would that be? 11. So 2:06 or 2:16.
Yep.
Then I'm cool with it. But no. Anyway, Mozvar Evliov defeated Enrique Barzola via unanimous decision. A couple 29-28s and a 30-27. That was a pretty fun scrap.
Yeah, that was an interesting fight.
Rafael Fiziev defeated Alex White via unanimous decision. Should have been 30-27s across the board, if you ask me.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then in your prelim main event, Randa Marcos defeated Ashley Yoder via split decision. The right girl won there, in my opinion. Not a bad preliminary card, but very decision heavy. Very decision heavy.
Yeah.
And the one stoppage I don't agree with. How do you like them apples? Muslim Salikov, right? Salikov defeated Laureano Staropoli via unanimous decision. A couple 30-26s and a 29-28. These judges, man, they're so inconsistent. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the hell some of these judges were. Were they watching their phone more than they were watching the fight? And they were like, oh shit, we got a judge. We'll do this.
Yeah, so I'm not really 100% sure. So what the hell are you doing, computer? Alright, cool, that's what I want to do. Okay, go ahead. What was the next fight?
Alright, shit, we left off at Salikov. Alright,
Yeah.
so the next fight is we had is it Cyril or Chiro?
It's Cyril.
Cyril?
Yeah, Cyril.
Cyril Cyril John, whatever, defeats Dontel Mays via submission heel hook, or heel hook submission. That was actually pretty slick.
That whole fight, here, let me put the skull facing out. That whole fight was badass.
Yeah,
both these heavyweights, A, great cardio. B, tough. Okay,
very.
So, was it Dante? Right? Dante?
Dontail.
Dontail has got a fucking solid chin. And
his solid core.
Yeah, his breadbasket took a beating, man. It took a fucking beating. But all is good. All is good. I was trying to find. Let me see.
Yeah, every time.
He just sat back for the fucking heel hook, and it was great.
And he was like, "All right, I guess I'll just do this," and just sat up, leaned back, and he leaned back.
Oh God, we did the same. We both did it.
But yeah, those body shots were insane. They sounded like a gunshot, man. Every time he connected, it just.
Yeah. So a new prospect in the heavyweight division, right there, with Cyril Gain.
Definitely, yeah.
Organe,
I think he might. I think he might be my. Not like new favorite heavyweight, but he's going to be one of my at least top 5.
You're going to have to watch out for the guy, that's for sure. And heavyweight needs some new blood, and they're going to get it with this game. And then your next fight, Benil Dariush. Rough. This guy, okay? This guy comes in, puts on a striking clinic, takes down the crank, okay? And then issues his own crank.
Yeah.
Okay? And gets the tap at 2:02 of round number 1. Now, this has been the best I've ever seen Beneil look. He's never looked better.
And I don't even think did he even receive a punch?
I did not count one, but, you know, I wasn't counting punches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, pretty fucking sick-ass fight from Beneil Dariush. Before we get to the co-main, well, actually, we have to get through the rest of it. Never mind. Stevie Ray takes a majority decision from Michael Johnson. Round 1 was pretty close. It could have gone either way, and I wouldn't be upset. Round 2 definitely for Michael Johnson, and I think in the I think in the very beginning of the third round, Johnson was definitely, you know, riding the momentum from round 2 until a fucking stupid ass takedown. It turns things around for Stevie Ray, and I think that right there secured him the fight. I don't really think there's any two ways about it. I think had Stevie, 808, there it is. Had Stevie not gotten that takedown, you're probably looking at a Johnson decision.
Now, if Johnson would have won, do you think it would have been a majority, or do you think they would have made it a split too?
I don't think about those sort of things.
It's above my pay grade.
Yeah. I don't even give it any fucking thought. It's either I agree with the decision or I don't. I don't worry about what ifs. I mean, sometimes I do. Just in this case, nah. So, Stevie Ray gets the win, I think on his lady's birthday, who's like, you know, at home pregnant with their 4th kid. So, Troda guys some dough, will ya? Damian Maia versus Ben Askren. A mostly striking affair.
Yeah.
Which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see the grapples, as Crazy J would call it back in the day.
I wanted to see some goddamn grappling, man.
He wanted to see the grapples. We all wanted to see the grapples. And it turns out Damian Maia, he takes the belt here. The best grappler in MMA. That title goes to Damian Maia, gets the rear naked choke in round number 3. Yeah, and it was at 354. 354. So Ben Askren, after going undefeated, I think at like 19-0-1, entered the UFC, 18-0-1, entered the UFC, got the submission over Robbie Lawler, okay, in his UFC debut, which there was some quote-unquote controversy on that one. One man's opinion is Robbie Lawler went out for a very split second. And, oh hey, look, it counts this one. Interesting. That's very interesting. Anyway, so gets the bulldog choke on Ruthless, then gets the flying knee from Masvidal, and now the RNC to Damian Maia, which takes his record to 19-2, and I believe he's got a no contest in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's got a no contest in there. So Askren, after riding an undefeated wave, has now been defeated twice in 1 year. Damian Maia is really liking the call-outs from your boy Diego Sanchez. I'm saying, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Neither do I. Make it happen.
You got two.
We have any pool, but still.
Two veterans, 2 former title challengers, 2 guys that, you know, probably shouldn't be fighting world beaters. They're not going to take a whole lot of damage in this fight. I'm okay with it. I am okay with it. Proceed. So, let's, let me see where we're at. Yeah, we got time. Okay, so let's preview what we're going to have next week. So next week, you're going to have the final playoff for PFL. So this will be PFL 9, and it's going to be the heavyweights and the light heavyweights. So you got Sordi and Pesaleli, Atiev and Nemkov. You've got Grisham and JJ. You've got Magayesh and Yusupov. You've got, in your heavyweights, you've got Tiller and Isleev. You've got Darius and Rochalt. You've got Goltsov and Ishii and Nicholson Borroso. PFL 9, the final playoff. That is this Thursday, which is Halloween, right?
Yep, Halloween.
So it's on Halloween. So while the kids are out trick-or-treating, I'll be working. The day after that, you've got UFC. Fuck. Invicta 38, Porto versus Rodriguez. So flyweight champ Vanessa Porto puts her title on the line against Karina Rodriguez. Now Rodriguez, she got this championship matchup off a win over multi-time guest Deanna Bennett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she split a couple of fights with Vitamin D, but the last one she won, so she gets the title fight here. So this would have been Vitamin D had she had won.
Man.
Kanako Murata versus Emily Ducati. Ooh, I like Ducati. Mallory Martin, recent Dana White's Contender Series alumni, is fighting Cynthia Arceo. Shanimal, I believe, Shanna Young versus Maju Sautama. Kerry Kennison versus Lisa Verzosa. Hey, you peep that name right there? Autumn Norton versus Cheyenne Rincon. And Serena De Jesus versus Tanisha Tennant. Then the following night, because we don't have enough shit on our fucking plate, you have UFC 244 headlined by Masvidal Diaz for the title of the baddest motherfucker. We're allowed to say that because fuck you. Julio Arce versus Hakeem Dawodu. I always fuck that one up. Lyman Good versus Chance Rencounter. And Caitlin Chukagian versus Jennifer Maia in a flyweight, probably title eliminator, because Caitlin is number 1, Maia, I believe, is like number 5, I want to say. So that prelim, those are the early prelims. Okay, so these are the fucking early ones. That's a badass early preliminary card.
Oh, yeah.
I know you don't want to hear it, but I'll be peeping that one. Your regular preliminary card opens up with Andrei Arlovsky versus Jair Rosenstruck, Edmund Shabazian versus Brad Tavares, Makwan Americani versus Shane Burgos. And then at your preliminary main event, which how this is on the prelims is fucking just... right? Corey Anderson versus Johnny Walker. Mi no comprende. Okay? Mi no comprende. It should have been this one. Gregor Gillespie versus Kevin Lee opens your pay-per-view.
Should have flipped it, huh?
Yeah, they should have flipped it. Blagoy Ivanov versus the Black Beast, Derek Lewis.
Get it done.
Vicente Luque versus, they should call him Wonder Boy, but they should call him just Nice Guy.
Yeah.
He should change his fucking name because he's the nicest guy in the planet. He puts his nicest guy title on the line. Yeah. Kevin Gastelum versus Darren Till is your co-main event at middleweight. Two welterweights that like to eat. This is what I would like to call it. And then two lightweights that like to eat. Jorge Masvidal versus Nate Diaz for the BMF belt. That is all next week, so we will probably have a whole bunch of stupid shit to say to you then. So,
real quick before we do end up wrapping this episode 30 up, your bonuses for
Singapore?
For UFC Singapore. You've got Fight of the Night, Damian Maia versus Ben Askren. That got Fight of the Night. And your two Performance of the Nights go to Beneil Dariush and Cyril Gane, whatever.
Oh, for the heel hook?
Yeah, for the heel hook submission.
Yeah,
yep.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we've got coming up Raufeon Stots and Travis Foster. So you guys peep that, or
Peep it.
or listen, and we'll see you next week. Kick. Like I said, man, it was a tough fight. It was a beautiful finish. Regardless of whoever felt that stoppage was just or not, justice justified. Jesus, whether they felt it was good or not, I thought the stoppage was good. I mean, there's no sense. You guys are both so early in your career. It didn't make sense for him to take any more damage. But do you feel that your experience played a factor here? Because I really feel it did.
Oh yeah, for sure. The thing is, if you notice when we interviewed before the fight, I was like very like dry with you guys. When you asked me about the fight and what are my advantages, I didn't really say much because I didn't really want to give it away. But now that the fight is over with, this is a terrible matchup for him. A terrible matchup. Whoever on his team told him to take this fight, he needs to take a hard look at them. Because first off, he only had 5 amateur fights, 3 pro fights. None of them left the first round. So his 3 pro fights to my 11 pro fights. 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's a ridiculous. And actually, technically, if you combine his 3 pro fights, which are all first round finishes, that equals 1 fight because that's 3 rounds. So really, his 1 fight to my 11 fights. There's no reason he should have even been in that same cage as me. No way. There's no reason for him to even accept that fight at 160. I'm not a 55 pounder. I cannot make 155. I've done it before, but I'm way too big for the weight class. There's no reason for me to going down that low. He should have never came up to 160. My nutritionist, she told me that 5 pounds doesn't seem like much, but for your body type, 5 pounds is a 180 difference. You at 155 versus you at 160 is going to be 180 in your performance. So once he accepted it at 160 and, all the stuff, and then once I saw how they were basically taking me lightly, all the stuff they were saying on social media, I just knew that the experience will ultimately prevail in this fight overall.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I'm excited that you got the win there. Okay, I like both of you guys. Okay, we interviewed both of you guys, but I want to talk about that. That's in the rearview mirror, buddy. You already got another fight lined up, man.
Yeah.
So talk to us about Palovich, or let me bring it up here on my phone.
I think it's Petrovich. I want to say Petrovich.
Yeah, so it's Ryan Petrovich, and this is over at Ring of Combat 70 over at the Showboat in Atlantic City in New Jersey. So you're going home for this one.
Yes, sir. I'm super excited about that, man.
Hell yeah.
Great opportunity, First off, it's the state that I was born and raised in.
Yes.
I can't even say enough about that alone. It's at 170, the weight class that I truly deep down in my heart believe I belong at and I wanted to be at. I've had plenty of fights at 170, but my team, they keep saying, hey, do 155, do 160 because you'll dominate everyone, which is true, but at what cost? I don't know if you guys remember, but like in that last fight, it made it seem like I was getting kind of tired in that first round. That wasn't from a lack of training. That was from the weight cut. The weight cut is so grueling that if I don't finish the guy at 155, they're going to outlast me by points. So now that I'm going up to 170 for this fight, I'm extremely, extremely, extremely confident. I'm gonna have an endless gas tank. I'm gonna have an infinite gas tank. Training over here at over 5,000 feet high elevation, going back down to sea level. There's a lot of things working in my favor. This fight right here is kind of like the same situation as the last one. This guy, he's 2-0 as a pro with 0 amateur fights. And
really?
These guys are going to start finding out the hard way that I don't like to talk trash, but I'll make my mark the night of the fight. But I'm excited about it. You know, it's at 170. It's my home state. Fighting the guy. You know, I have a lot of respect for him. You know what I'm saying? He's a former Division I wrestler. He trains over there with Chris Weidman and Alaquenta, Aljamain Sterling, those top guys over there in Long Island. I believe it's called Law MMA. I think that's an acronym for what's the coach's name? Weidman and Longo. Yeah. Yeah, Longo's the
Sarah
shit.
Longo?
Yeah, Sarah Long. Yeah, exactly. That
Yo.
gym. So yeah, you know, he comes from a tough camp, you know, he's a tough guy, strong wrestling background. You know, he's a big guy, 6 feet tall. I'm sure he's probably cutting down from at least 200 pounds. You
Probably.
know, yeah, I have nothing but good, respectful things to say about him. But may the best man win November 23rd.
All right, Jonathan's been fucking itching to get in this shit. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I
No,
go
it's
with
all
Sauce,
good.
so go ahead, man. What you got for Diablo Sauce?
Well, I've always wondered because I've seen a lot of fighters. They'll cut the weight to go down, then they'll put on the weight to come back up. I know you've probably touched on this a little bit, but maybe my brain's just not wrapping my head around it. So with your upcoming fight, do you think dropping the weight with your previous fight, uh, and then gaining all that weight and muscle back or whatever, do you think that's going to give you just a little bit of an edge going into this next fight?
I don't think the weight itself will give me an edge. I think the fact that um um I basically joined the two fight camps together is going to give me an edge. I'm coming fresh off of a competition. It's not like I'm psychologically damaged from a loss. I'm coming off of a win, so I have even more momentum. You know, I think it'll give me an advantage, not from the whole what you said, but it'll be an advantage in different reasons. Like this guy, his
Okay.
last fight was in 2014.
Oh shit!
So
Ooh.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Versus I just fought in October. I just fought before that in June. I fought again in February. I fought 3 times last year. I fought 5 times in the year before that. Fought 3 times in the year before that. So you know what I mean? Like I think there's different advantages that I have. That one won't be an advantage though.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand it a little bit better now. Yeah, the with me being still new to the whole like weight classes and stuff, I still don't even know the names. I don't even know like the weight classes just yet. But yeah, just actually hearing
Prime
that
white
kind
belt.
of.
Just- And we are here with Raufeon Supa Stots. I hope I said the nickname right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was awesome.
Right on. Well, let's just get things started with how are things going, man?
Man, things are looking up, man. Things are going good, I was I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling like I got a clear path to things I want to get, and yeah, things are looking good right now.
You want to talk about some of these good things?
Yeah, one thing that I'm gonna go out there and chase this Bellator title, and I feel like that's good, and it's also I feel like for a lot of people and for me, I was really not like doubting, if things were gonna work out for fighting, and just but I'm sure everybody goes through it, or like, am I on the right track type of thing, but everything happened that's what I was really dying. If everything happens for a reason, but now I feel like it is. I feel like everything is right with the world, yeah. So feeling good about chasing, Bellator titles, fighting on a bigger stage, making a better life for my family, so all that stuff, man. Looking up.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking exciting, and I know we're not the only ones that have been clamoring and chanting get Raufeon on the big stage. What the fuck?
Exactly. I don't know, and it's like I must have fucked my girlfriend, or I don't know, what, who knows what happened, you know, that what took me out, or it took me so long, you know, to get here. But, you know, like I said, everything happens for a reason. So, you know, I'm glad I'm here now. So it's awesome.
All right, and so we're finally here. We're on the big stage. Is there an opponent that they have lined up for you, or do you have?
So I had one opponent. Well, I didn't have an opponent. Patrick Mick's opponent pulled out, and I put my name in the hat. They asked me if I wanted to fight, and you know I'm always down, so I say yeah. But that fell through. They didn't say yeah on their side. So now I'm just you know waiting. They said they're gonna try to get me in. The matchmaker said he's gonna try to get me in soon. So hopefully before the year, I can get a fight in, man. I'm excited, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know what? Look, your record shows you fight some tough SOBs, man.
Yeah.
Just looking at your last four, right? Just looking at your last four. You got the win over Verdone to defend your title. You got a win over Ryan Lilly. The Lion is tough. Okay, that guy's
for sure. Yeah,
and
he
even
had he was on like a 4 knockout streak, you know, when I fought.
Yeah.
So. And he's tough,
Levi
man. He's tough
Powell
as nails.
after that. Acosta after that. Look, these are good fights. So I can understand going into your Bellator debut that people might be hesitant to take that fight, man.
Yeah, and I feel like, I mean, that's kind of been my whole career. Like, I'm not going to get, just because of my wrestling pedigree, like, I'm not really going to get a lot of, I'm not going to get a lot of fighters that want to get in there with me just because, you know, nobody wants to fight a wrestler and get held down. Yeah, and so I got striking and submissions too. So I can imagine, you know, I'm a bad matchup for a lot of people. So
a lot of people.
I'm definitely gonna be, you know, people gonna have to get forced into. I mean, that's the good thing now, which is why I feel, you know, better. Because even if I was on the regional stage, I'm a fighter that likes to stay busy, but it's hard to keep me busy for not like it's hard for these promotions to keep me busy because it's so hard to get a matchup that you know these people that are fighting me are like legit and want to be the best. You know, it's nowadays it's hard to find fighters that kind of want to fight the best before they get to the big show. So,
well, it's got to be pretty exciting signing to Bellator and just knowing right off the bat that you're a big deal, man. You're a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm so happy that I decided to sign to Bellator and I can tell, you know, I was going after the UFC, I feel like, for a long time, and it's almost like it was a point to where I was like, you know what, like forget these guys, fuck these guys, because they don't want to, like, if they don't want me, I don't want you, you know, type of thing.
Exactly.
But like from the contract I got from the Bellator, I can tell that they really, you know, they believe something, you know, they believe something is there. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be appreciated, you know, and you know, I'm
absolutely
ready to, you know, show the world, man. I'm like itching talking about it, man. It's exciting. Exciting stuff.
Yeah, I guarantee you. I mean, you're gonna make an immediate impact. You're gonna start your Bellator career as a contender, and that's super hard to do these days.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's. And I knew whatever league I went to, I know I want to hit the ground running. You know, I don't want to. I feel like that was the benefit for me, like having those tests early and tests like fighting the UFC vets early, fighting the toughest I can find early. Is like as soon as I get to the big show, I'm not like a lot of these fighters that kind of like pad their record till they get to the top. You know, I was fighting the toughest I can fight. So because I'm at Rufus Sport, you know, they tell us this all the time. We're not preparing to fight the guy that we're fighting next. We're preparing to fight for those world titles, you know. And I've been, since I started training, that's what I've been, you know, preparing to do. So I'm ready to hit the ground running, you know, and go after that title. So it's exciting.
Yes, it is very exciting. And I know my co-host over there is itching to get some questions in. So, Jonathan, what you got for Supa?
Hey, man, first off, I know we said at the beginning, but thanks again for taking time out of your day and talking with us over here at HeadKick Audio. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Sorry if I do sound a little nasally, going through allergies. I hate the goddamn desert, dude. I fucking hate it.
Tell him, stop crying. Stop crying.
Dude, I'm so excited we get to talk to Supa, man. I'm crying over here, man.
You gonna make me blush out here. That's awesome.
Excuse me. So, looking over, your outstanding fight career, what do you think has stood out most? I guess through your career.
Well, I think my biggest accomplishment was probably the fight I had with Rob Emerson, which is he was a UFC vet. He was the champion in 2 weight classes when the Victory FC was around. And he was just tough as nails, and he was out to prove that I was just a prospect and I was just this young kid that hadn't fought anybody. So after I beat him, I feel like I was on cloud 9, but then right after that, the lowest point in my career was going into a fight against Merab Dishashvili, and then overlooking him and not taking him serious, and going out there and being too lazy and in the beginning the round, where most fighters are the most dangerous. So that's I feel like I had the high of my career and then the low of my career right back to back, but I was able to bounce back, as fast as I wanted to get in there next month, but my management and everything, they told me my coaches, and I had a suspension or something, so I feel like that was the highest point and the lowest point of my career.
Sorry, I can't get over it, man.
Can't take it. That was such a good answer, man.
So now with you getting this awesome contract, before all of this, were you a full-time fighter or did you have a job on the side?
So that's the other thing. Since I moved to Raufeon, I've been a full-time fighter. So I'm training full-time. I probably train 6-7 hours a day. But also I have to, I got a family to take care of, so I have other jobs but I don't have a 9 to 5, because I fit my other jobs around my training is kind of, what I've been doing, and I can only survive on that for so long. So this came right in the nick of time for me and my family, because that's the thing. I don't want to put them, and they don't deserve to be, struggling and things like that, just because they're here helping me chase my dreams. So I want to do right by them. So that's what I was. So I was coaching at Ben Askren's Wrestling Academy, and I was also working at UPS. I was also working on the weekends. I'll do moving, or I work at a moving company on the weekends, Brothers Moving. So I'm just piecing jobs together so I can train full time, pretty much.
Nice. The hustle is real, man. The hustle is real.
For sure.
Well, the third and final question I got for you is, I like to spend time with the family, hang out with the kids. My kids are starting a YouTube channel now, so I've been getting all that crap done with them. So what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not training for fights?
Man, you know what? I'm a Fortniter.
Now you cornered. Cancel the recording. Now I'm crying because
of it. About it. I can't lie. I can't hide it no more. I'm a Fortniter. No, but other than that, I like to hang out, and I got a little. I like to build things. I do this little skit, and it's for fun or whatever. But I fix things around the house or fix things that we need, or so I do a little woodworking. I like to build stuff with my hands or fix stuff with my hands, and I got this little thing on YouTube Rauf the Builder. I do.
Yes, I like it. I
do that. I do that, and that's pretty fun. That brings me a lot of joy. So
I'm gonna drop some fucking links for that shit or something in here.
Rauf the Builder.
We're doing it.
Builder. Check it out.
Yeah.
Now, I know I said that was my last one, but that's actually kind of interesting. So, did you learn on your own how to do all that, or did you just kind of pick it up as you grew?
So, I have this aunt, my aunt Samalita, and she is like known for like, excuse the vernacular, but she's known for like nigger rig and stuff, you know.
Gotcha.
Where I should call Afro engineering things, you know.
There
So
you go.
she's not
There
like
you go.
a technical way to do things or whatever, but they work and they look good, you know. And she's like she inspired me actually to like do that type of stuff, to like build. I think the first thing I built was a like a nightstand or whatever, and it's just like 2x4s and like some cast iron, you know, legs or whatever. But yeah, so that was like the first thing I made, and you know, I show her everything that I made, you know. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it.
Oh, that's really dope,
Yeah,
dude.
and then
I like that.
so the first thing I bought like a circular saw, so I can cut that or cut the piece of wood or whatever. And then we were in the apartment at the time or whatever, so I would do it all like on my like the deck of our apartment. And then like I bought like when we moved into our house, then I started buying other tools, and now I got like a workshop in my basement and stuff. So
That's
yeah.
what's up.
Nice. That's what's up, dude.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
well, now this is for real. That's all I got for you right now. I'm gonna send you back over to the host. I don't know where he's gonna be at because it's gonna be like video, like roulette on where we're gonna be at. So, what else you got, Steve?
All right, so if you got time for a couple more, I got some. It's not really like fight related questions, but they're kind of fight related.
Yeah.
All right, so you did that kinetic grappling, which I will tell you what. I'll tell you what. Now, I'm not into watching grappling like on a TV, like I got behind me. Yeah. But because of you and Burchak, seriously, you guys were the reason we watched it. We sat here in the fucking studio and watched it because I'm like,
that's a dub.
Yeah, I could not watch that one. Burchak, you know, he's a hometown guy for us. I've been watching his career forever. And then you came out of fucking nowhere and it was like, yeah, yo, we got to watch it. These are like two little right now.
I know.
Gotta fucking watch it.
Originally, they had me they had me matched up with somebody. Gordon Ryan's little brother. I was with Gordon Ryan's little brother. Then they switched it to like a Boogie Rick Martinez, something Martinez, but he was like huge. He was like 215 or something or whatever. But I was like, yeah, I'm in a grappling match. I don't like I'm down to do it, you know. Let's do it or whatever. But then Burchak came in. It was like after his fight or whatever, so he was like closer to weight or whatever, and he was down to do it, man. I'm happy he did, you know. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Then I was able to see kind of where I'm at, you know, with some grapplers. So it was
because Burchak's good, man. And I'll tell
Burchak been choking. He be choking out some people, man. He don't play around.
You fucking look good too, man.
Your neck, he getting a check. Let me put it out. So it was good.
Yeah, but you guys went to a draw in overtime. So
we went
my
to
question
a draw,
for you there.
I don't mean to talk about your boy, but he was hanging on. I had him almost 2 times. I feel like I had him in a darce, and I had him in a almost had a what's that? The Kimura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kimura or something like that. I almost had him, you know, but it's all love, you know. But I feel like I had him
this
on
one for the homie.
It was fun.
Because I feel if that goes any longer, at least on the night, I think you probably walk away with that.
I don't think he was like in his best shape or whatever, because he was getting tired, you know. And like I said, he took the fight on short notice, so all respect to him, you know. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, it was fun for us too. So now let's say you guys got booked in a MMA fight as opposed to grappling.
Hey, I would love to. We talked about it actually. We talked about fighting. Like after or no, before the event, I was like, yeah, hey, let's talk about, you know, like us getting a fight, you know, because I know it's hard for us to get, you know, matched up. I know it's hard for me to get matched up at least. And so then he like after the fight, I think we had a drink and then we talked about it, and I guess they were trying to get him to fight me maybe the time before, but he said he'd only fight me if it was like if it was for a title or if they gave him a little more money type of thing. So he was like, he said, it'll be, I think the way he said it was like he thought highly of me and he didn't want to take me lightly. So like we should fight for a title or you know.
I agree. I can't say that I disagree there. You're a tough fight for anybody. So
Yes,
if they're saying, yeah, you're gonna fight Raufeon Stots next, I'm saying, yeah, and you're gonna fucking pay me? You're gonna give me a belt?
Yeah.
You're gonna
Exactly.
you're gonna pay off my house?
You gotta get your money's worth. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yes,
I'm actually really bummed that the fucking fight didn't materialize because, man, I was salivating.
That would have been a good fight. That would have been a good fight, man. That would have been a good test for me. Good test for him. That would have been good.
All right. So we're in Bellator and we're chasing gold. All right.
Yep.
Give us your ideal road to your title.
You talking about like names? Like people?
Hell yeah. If you got names, let's go.
You know, like I love to fight that. I feel like that Patchy Mix kid. Like I love to fight him. You know, I think he said if he had a full camp, he'd fight me. So, like I love to fight him. Or I kind of want to take out some of these wrestlers. These like Joe Warren or Sean Bunch. You know, maybe I fight one of those guys. You know, just to test my wrestling. And then I forget his name. He was the champion at one point.
DC?
Huh?
Caldwell?
No, not Caldwell. I think he moved to 45, but I love to fight Caldwell too. Yeah, Caldwell moved down. That'd be a fight I was eyeing for a while. It's a little Brazilian kid. Dantes. Yeah, that fight. I feel like that fight, maybe like a fight or two. That fight, it'd be, you know, or even, you know, if I could get him next. You know, like I said, I don't want to waste time really. So I feel like But
so what do you feel? You
got the title now, so I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know how that's gonna play out, but it'd be really dope if they did a tournament like they're doing the at 45.
Yeah. Well,
that would be my ideal situation.
Scenario.
They do a 135 pound tournament, and they have all those guys that I mentioned in the tournament. That'd be my ideal situation.
Sign me up. Sign me up.
Yeah, sign me up twice.
I'm signing it for you, bro. Exactly, I'm signing it for you. Exactly. All right, so you think no tournament? You think what? 2, 3, 4 fights? Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
How far do you think you're away from that title? How many fights?
How many fights? I think if I get 3 fights, I feel like I mean 3 of the right fights. 3 right fights, and I think I can make a good contention or a good argument to fight for a title. Yeah.
Okay.
The right fight. Like if I go in and I beat these or any of those top 3, if I beat 2 out of those top 4 or whatever that I mentioned, I feel like, you know, so I'll have a fight or, you know, and I'll beat the Dantes kid or the Higo kid or, you know, the Patchy Mitch. I think 2 out of 3 of them, I think I should. And, or even 3 out. If I beat 3 of those guys, then I'm right there, I feel like. So.
Okay. Like I said, I feel like you make it.
So, like, the tournament, you got to fight, what, like 4 times? Or it's 4 times. So, that tournament would be, like, perfect. If I could fight all 3 of them in the tournament.
Right?
And win the title, that'd be
awesome, man. All right, now I want to talk about your team, okay? Because your team is very close-knit, but you guys all fight at such a high level, man. Why don't you tell some of our viewers and listeners about your team?
Man, and we were just talking about this today, actually. There's, on the Rufus Sport team, honestly, we probably have about, like, all together, we probably have about maybe 17 guys. Like if everybody was there, you know? But it's to the point now that like nobody everybody, like there's more people on the higher levels are fighting, or like the what you call it, the bigger promotions.
Yeah.
Than there are on the lower promotions, and even the guys on the regional promotions are like on Fight Pass or on Access TV, like really reputable regional, like they're on their way to getting there. So we gotta it's all, Coach Duke says it all the time, like we're not like an army out there, we're like Marines, like every one of us are specially trained, you know, and really good at our craft, you know. We got some of the best strikers on the world, the best, you know, grapplers in the world. It's crazy, and with such a small group of people, I feel like, you know, it's very elite.
Very elite. Elite is definitely like the right word for it. Is elite.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you guys, like you said, fight all at such a high level. Now I got a fun one for you. Okay, every clique has the people inside that clique. They all have their roles. I'm the dick. Okay, I'm the dick, right? And John, he's the big teddy bear. He's the lover guy, right? Okay, so go through some of the guys on your team and what are their roles?
Okay, so here we go. All right, we got Biggie. I gotta mention Biggie.
Oh yeah,
because you said a dick, you know, and a teddy bear. I feel like Biggie is a dick when he needs to be, but is the nicest person, you know, to the people around him. But he's like a no nonsense type of person. Like, you know, like I'll like fake laugh at somebody if they say something, you know, that they think is funny sometimes, you know. But he'll, you know, look at them and you know, like wish they come at him like, why you not laughing type of thing. So yeah, Biggie gotta be, he's like a dick / teddy bear. Then we got Manny Sanchez. Manny Sanchez has got to be like, he's the most amped weirdo on our team. I feel like he's just always ready to go, always, you know, excited to be there. Just always, you know, I mean, if you see his fights, he's rubbing his nipples before the fight, and then everybody knows, like, oh man, he's in his zone, you know, man, he's ready to go. We got Sergio Pettis, which is, I feel like Sergio's like an old man in a young man's body, you know. He's just, he's an old soul, you know, but you know, the nicest kid in the world. Who else we got? We got Paul Felder, who's an Irish maniac. He's just as tough as nails, and you know, got that. What's that? The Bronx or New York, or wherever they're from. Oh, and Jared Gordon, who gets in a altercation every place he goes. He just got a face that everybody, you know, on the street wants to punch him. You know, we got a lot of characters, man. Who else? We got JP St. Louis, which is
that's who I want to know about.
Yeah, JP, man. JP is our you know, anime enthusiast. He's our he's the other, like, after fight celebration turn up squad. He's on that. Me and JP take that very seriously, you know, trying to outdo each other in the post fight celebrations.
JP's good people, man.
We got Brian Batista, which is, he's like the saddest fighter. He's like the Drake of our team. You know, we got a lot of characters.
Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. Now, what are you on the team?
You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like, when they think of me, they think loud, obnoxious, probably. You know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they would think or what they would say, you know. I don't know. That's a good question. I should ask that tomorrow.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
To the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I'm very, very excited for the news to break on who the opponent is as soon as they get something locked down for you. Yeah. They need to do it soon.
Man, they gotta do it soon. I'm hoping before the end of the year I'll get a fighter and get something locked in.
Get something locked in, because this is
crying about it. So,
he's crying. I'll pick somebody.
Fucking pick somebody.
Oh man. So before we let you go, I want to give you as much time as you'd like to thank as many people as you'd like, training partners, sponsors, fans, whatever.
Take as long as you want, man. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
Man, I'd like to thank all my teammates and all my, my coaches, Duke Rufus, Scott Cushman, Joe Nichols, Daniel Wanderlei. I like to thank my training partners, Manny Sanchez, Sergio Pettis, Christian Rodriguez, Brian Batista, David Evans, long list of people.
Yeah.
I like to thank my sponsors, Jake Kurtz Painting and Twin J Transportation, also BB Roofing. Most of them are located in Omaha or Nebraska.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and yeah. I like to thank Combat Corner for always supplying me with gear. DC mouth guards for my mouth guards. Blue Diamond, the diamond cups for protecting my junk.
Yes, sir. That's important.
Yeah,
Protect the jewels, man.
that's about it. If you want to reach me, you can find me on Instagram, Raufeon Stots, one word. Facebook, Raufeon Stots, 2 words. Also Twitter, Raufeon Stots, 1 word. Yeah, that's about it, man. I want to thank all my family and stuff. Thank you guys for having me too, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. I see we did it right this time, John. Now you were crying over there. Can we
Finally
get back in the day? Can we let him get back in the day?
Excited.
So excited.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
That's my boy.
All right, man.
You're my
This
boy,
has been
Luke.
a lot of fun, dude. It's been a lot of fun, man. I can't wait to do the next one. As soon as you get the fight locked in, man, let's fucking preview that shit.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's link up.
All right, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully they get something soon. Have a good night. We'll talk, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You too.
All right. Take
Night.
it easy.